I'm Nyra. I'm from Pirate Meds, and I wanted to just give you just a little bit of basic information about our website, about our business, and maybe just a little bit of backstory. So, um, let's say 2013, 2014, around that time, I got a diagnosis, and my diagnosis was HIV. I usually don't say it on our website or on our TikTok because I got children, and it's harder to explain these type of things to people, and they not look at you cross-eyed. I am here to break the stigma because the stigma is what keeps the medical industry in business. So let me give you an example. The stigma behind HIV typically comes from men seeking men. So men that have slept with men or seek men or have told their doctor that they have been in relationships with men. And at first, they were going to call HIV grid until they figured out that the men that were sleeping with men actually like women too. And women were popping up with the disease. So there were more medicines that catered just to men and not to women. So when I got my diagnosis, I found out when I was pregnant. And when I first, like the guy who I was talking to, I had, he told me like, I have HIV. So I was like, well, we slept together, so I'm not going to go back into the dating pool. I decided that I was going to date him exclusively, right? And I didn't really know any information about HIV because it's really not in the women's community. And when people like for example, if you're in the LGBTQ, you don't know what the men in the LGBTQ go through if you're a woman in the LGBT. Your experiences are totally different. And I will tell you that, and I will say that, and with full knowing, the experiences are totally different because I used to like make posts. I used to be so upset when I had got the diagnosis. I used to like make posts, basically like hate posts. Like I had to go through therapy to come through to the point where I am at compassion, right? And I used to make posts like, why are y'all doing this or why y'all doing that? And females would say, why would you bash men like that? And then when I would say, well, I got it from a gay man, they wouldn't have any reply. Like it would be nothing that they could say to me. So when I started noticing like everybody in the LGBTQ was lumped together, but then the more and more like I started to try to dig myself out, I noticed that the medical industry had made a whole market and an industry out of these people. Anybody in the LGBTQ, because whether you're a man seeking a man or a woman seeking a woman, they want to give you hormone drugs so that you grow hair on your face. You got to think about it like this. Insurance pays for the necessities. So if they say it's a mental health issue and then they tell you, oh, we can pay for you to be on hormones so that you could be the person that you want to be. And then they'll say it's the same thing. It's like cosmetic surgery, but they put it under the guise of mental health so that your medical procedures are covered. So I just feel like that is the medical industry targeting you. You think it's a leeway and it's all about pride, but really it's a target. So the very help that they're giving you is going to be the noose that they use around your neck. And you have to understand that. The second thing when it came to the HIV, that is human immune deficiency. That's what the acronym stands for. Human immune deficiency virus. So my question would be to the medical industry is why haven't you guys, when people start to boost their immune system, why aren't you able to take the diagnosis away? Because more people have been boosting their immune system where the medicines literally deplete your immune system. And then the medicines come with warnings. The medicine will come with a warning that says it will tear up your liver. The medicine will come up with a warning that says it will make you anemic. The medicine comes up with all these warnings, but because people don't know what anemia is and how that plays a factor in so many other diseases, they'll just, oh, I'm anemic, my feet are cold. Mm-hmm. That's not what that means. If you're anemic, that means that your blood, which is your life force, is dying within you. Your blood. So when somebody says that you have cancer, that means you have abnormal blood cells. The blood is depleted of oxygen and clumping in places and making you have blood clots or you can't heal. So when somebody says you have herpes, that's your body taking too long to heal itself. Why? Because you're not properly cleaning yourself. So the thing about it is they bank on, and I said this again earlier, they bank on what you don't know. They know you don't know how to properly clean yourself. They know you don't know what products to properly buy to clean yourself. And they bank on that. Oh, you went to the doctor because you didn't know that you needed some Carmex. A Carmex for $2 could stop you from being in the doctor's office talking about you have herpes. But because you went to the doctor and said, I don't know how to heal this bump, the doctor said, well, shoot, lifetime recipient of the pills. The doctors get visits from pharmaceutical companies. All the girls in scrubs feel like they better than you because the pharmaceutical company came in and bought them lunch. Them scrubs is $17. There's no difference between you or them, just the uniform. Because if you start talking to them, they don't even know what's going on.
They don't know nothing.
They don't know what's going on. Listen, baby, I don't know. And then the way the test is run, when people get blood tests, I was talking to somebody who had got diagnosed with breast cancer yesterday. And I was like, do you know what your blood test says? She was like, they gave me that. That's the most important paper that they can give you. But they know the important stuff you don't pay attention to. They give you your HIPAA forms. As soon as you get to the doctor's office, you let them violate your HIPAA up and down. You ain't paid attention to them forms. They balled up in your purse. But now the same HIPAA that you should have been using, now you willingly walk around with your vaccine exemption card or vaccination card to show that's a violation of your own HIPAA. They got you to violate your own HIPAA rights.
You like the Jews now with the red joint around you. You got to put the joint around to show you was a Jew. You just like that now. Same deal. Same deal.
If you don't think that half of this stuff is population control, because you're not going to want to have sex if you think you can get HIV. You're not going to want to have sex if you think you can get herpes. But I'm going to tell you one thing that they didn't tell you. Half the people that got that jab and the people that's getting the jab are popping up with HSV. The people that's getting these vaccines can't fight a cold off. And my whole thing is, do you know how to naturally boost your immune system? Because when you go into the doctor's office, do they tell you? Now they get to the point where they just write fluids. They don't even tell you tea. Fluids. Just go home and drink some fluids. What type of, plenty of things fall under fluid. Antifreeze. You know what I'm saying? Brake fluid, power steering fluid. And when I think about fluid, that's what I think about. I don't think about a tea. I don't think about honey. And they don't teach you about these things so that you should know how to properly fix your body. So when it comes to this, I feel like a lot of the trends that were started on TikTok, our trends have been copied, but we're here to stand the test of time. There's been a lot of wormwood talk. Wormwood is absinthe, which was used for capital punishment. So believe me, if the thing that they're telling you to take is going viral to the hundreds of thousands, I can guarantee you might want to look at some studies on it. You might want to see what they used it for back in the day, because everybody was talking about wormwood till me and my husband came out and said, that is used for capital punishment. Why would we kill you when you would kill yourself? You literally go to the appointment where they're treating you with mustard gas, and you call your girlfriend Bestelle up. Girl, I gotta go get my chemo treatment. Yes. This is how bad it is. This proves that we haven't had anything to do with our time. We don't know what to do with our time, because all you ever hear somebody say is how they going to the doctor. I'm about to take the baby to the doctor. I got to go to the doctor. We're going to be at the doctor. I'm going to go on over to the hospital. Nobody knows how to fix nothing no more. And grandma in the kitchen, she's obsolete because the hospital. But then if you look at what's in the hospital's medicine, it's the herbs. So the difference between your auntie who could cook and your auntie who can't cook is her knowledge of herbs. Her knowledge of rosemary, her knowledge of thyme, her knowledge of onion, that's what makes you a kitchen wizard. That's what makes you better in the kitchen. That's what made grandma so knowledgeable, because she knew what to do with her onion. She knew if the onion was hanging in a basket that it wouldn't bruise. She knows not to put a tomato or a potato inside the refrigerator. It won't cook right. She knows not to put the garlic in the refrigerator. She know how to put the ginger in the refrigerator, because the ginger is going to mold. These are the things that need to be passed down from generation to generation. I know you like, oh, it shouldn't be. Do you realize that canned food came because it was war times? So all the people out here talking about canning, that's because it was war times. And we're going right back into those times. And that's the only reason you shouldn't be eating fresh food. But when I look at people and I'm like, she's a chef. I do not respect chefs that pull tomatoes out of cans. It don't make no sense to me. It's like, did a bomb go off around your house? Why are you pouring your Rotel dip out the can? Like, I don't get that. So my whole thing is, if it's not bombs going off 20 meters from your house, take a tomato, cut the tomato, blend the tomato, season the tomato, and then give the kid a grilled cheese and have tomato soup. What happened to that? Y'all like So Campbell's, good. It's like the commercials is y'all life. And if the commercial didn't tell you to do it, you're not going to get it right. So my whole thing is, make sure that you know how to use your basic essentials, and your basic essentials grow out the ground. Your basic essentials have seeds. Your basic essentials are not what they tell you your basic essentials are. The people who are growing their own food, they're going to survive the next journey that's coming. I'm telling you that right now. The people who don't know how to grow their food, you're going to be subject to whatever the government tell you have to be subject to. And if you don't think you're going to be subject to what the government tells you to do, first of all, you can't get a house right now unless you have Section 8. People been on the Section 8 list for 10 years. All of a sudden, I just got my Section 8 approval. It's not that they want you to be homeless, but they want the government wants to pay your wages. So they have to take away and they have to cause as much chaos as they can. So like Elon Musk said, robots are going to take your job and the government is going to pay your wage. So we're going to give out housing vouchers. We're going to create all these little housing structures for y'all to live in. We're going to make sure y'all like tiny homes and y'all think that's a good idea. We're going to make sure that y'all like to eat mold. I don't understand the people who are out talking about eat mushrooms. If somebody said, lick the fungus off my feet, would you do it? Because to me, that's what mushrooms are. Mushrooms are fungus. And then y'all like, I'm healthy. No, you're not. Then the whole vegan situation. I'm vegan. You plant-based. Everything is the plant. Plastic came from plants. Everything is plant-based. But what is it that you're eating? My whole thing is people swear that they're doing something right. And the more and more you get to the point where you think you're doing right, you're doing wrong. It's called deception. And there's a lot of people who are deceived. And I promise you, instead of going to Google, go to your grandma if you still got one. Because y'all done sat her in the corner and made her obsolete. Go to your grandma. Ask her how they used to do it before the internet. Because the internet it's leading people astray.
Mm.
Babe, when you was dating, could the chicks cook?
Yeah. They could not cook.
What was your worst experience with somebody making you a meal?
One time, I had an ex. We was living down West Philly, and she was gonna make beef stew. So she put the beef and everything in the crock pot. That's what she was gonna make it in. So I had left. I had came back in, and I hear something sizzling, like it's a frying pan on the stove. So I'm like, it's the crock pot. I never heard a crock pot sizzle before. I looked in it, lifted up the top, the steam was coming out. So I'm like, hey, babe, do you think you're supposed to put water in here? She talking about, no, it makes its own water. I said, I know it don't make its own water. But I'm like, yeah. She like, yeah. I'm like, you sure? Mom, say no more. I put it back. I knew it was going to be tore up. I ain't gonna get no
Not a
dinner,
vegetable?
nothing.
Did she have any onions in there with it? Or
It was everything in there, carrots, all that, but it just wasn't no water.
It was just frying.
I didn't order nothing because I knew she messed up or nothing. I just let it rock. Like, and you gonna have to fix this one. I tried to tell you.
And to this day, he still remember it. It's nothing wrong with home ec. It's nothing wrong with taking a little cooking class.
I'm a man and I know how to cook.
How often were you offered Alfredo?
Not often, but I know that's the only thing I know they know how to cook.
Jay, have you been offered Alfredo? They not. I just had to ask because so many men have been saying, like, I'm tired of Alfredo.
Chicken and shrimp Alfredo. That's
I'm
they twist.
tired of the Alfredo. I'm tired of it. So I just wanted to know, like, how many men are tired of the Alfredo? Are you tired of it? Are you tired of shrimp? Are you tired of the 92 ways they can make salmon? Are you tired of it? And then are they actually taking the time out to season the food? Like, because I feel like the Chinese lady, the reason why she has your man there every Friday is because that bitch know how to make sauce. She know how to make gravy. And she know what herbs to use. She uses ginger. Girl, you think ginger is a tea or go in your smoothie, but you ain't thinking about ginger like the way that ginger is supposed to be used. And just the pickup of micronutrients. So the way you eat is important. How you utilize the food, the herbs, everything that's natural, it is very, very important. And if you don't utilize it in the right way, you will be sick. You will be sick. Don't think you can go to Campbell soup. Campbell soup is like sodium city. It's all salt. That's why if you don't put some water in that little container, it's going to tear your throat up. It's going to tear your throat up. So just be mindful when it comes to, you know, how you eat. That is the reason why you eat a pill is because the way to fix you is through your stomach. So if that's the case, then you need to make sure you're eating what's right, ingesting the right herbs. Like, you need to make sure you do what you got to do.
And then stop not eating meat. If you don't eat meat as a choice, that's a problem, because the Lord makes people abhor meat. That means deny meat. I mean, like,
it literally says
like,
that people, because they transgress, will stop eating meat. And so they're out and they're saying, I want to have sex. I want to do this. I want to live this type of lifestyle. I want a relationship. Like, literally, people will stop eating meat so they can go back to having sex. And my whole thing is, if you learn how to clean yourself after sex, or if you learn how to eat properly, you wouldn't have problems. And then how can you have a baby if you ain't got no nutrients to give the babies? And you know you ain't got no nutrients because you ain't got no edges. But that's a time for another time. We'll talk about the edges the next time. Ain't got time.
Veganism wasn't even meant to be a lifestyle. Especially if you read the Bible. I mean, it wasn't meant to be a lifestyle. It was the old wine. It was new wine and old wine skins. I mean, for me to give you this magical power that I'm going to give you, your body going to be ripped to shreds. You're not even going to be able to do none of the stuff I need you to do. You know what I mean? So you got to clean out. That's for spiritual purposes, not for, I'm going to heal my body. I was vegan for 2 years, never ate no meat. Juiced, all that. Veggies, stir fry, no meat. Still sick. Still getting burpees.
It's still so
on my
funny.
little lip.
Listen, I remember when we first got together, because remember he told y'all that story about how we got together or whatever. So I was like ordering dinner. Me and my kids got all this stuff, like fat people food, right? And then I ordered him a salad, because I remember the last time we was chatting, like, he was like, I'm a vegan, like, I'm hard. He had showed me, like, he was eating broccoli with, like, a garlic sauce. I'm like, oh, that looks good. I straight told the Lord, I was like, I know you said he the one for me, but I ain't eating like that. I ain't eating like no rabbit. It's not for me. And then I ordered him the first night. I'm like, here, I ordered you a salad. The second night the salad came, he looked up like, I was like, you eat meat? He was like, and then ever since then, you just got to understand, I don't know how long y'all going to stay on that salad. That is your food's food. And a garnish. Salad is your food's food.
As soon as the famine happened, as soon as the war happened, it ain't no rations. Y'all gonna be the first to go. Y'all ain't gonna have nothing on you. Your body's supposed to eat your fat first.
It is. It does, especially if you go into a coma.
So y'all done. Y'all ain't even got no fat. The first thing it's gonna do is eat your muscle, and it's gonna make you aggressive and irritable. And that's how you know the Civil War gonna kick off. And plus, everybody's gonna be forced to fast. What happens when you're forced to fast? That means you're spiritually open.
And you definitely gonna be subject to all types of temptation.
You see and feel everything. Mm-hmm. The pool of iniquities, the transgressions, and all that. What they call it? Letting your intrusive thoughts win. He let his intrusive thoughts win, and that's gonna be happening a lot. You ain't got no food. Everybody gonna be angry, and then the vibration gonna be up that they gonna turn on. Negative vibration, and you spiritually open, so you ain't got nothing to block nothing. You just open. That vibration gonna hit you. What's the name of that movie?
Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
Y'all, you gotta be spiritually sound. You gotta have some type of protection. I'm gonna be honest with you. You have to. In this world, if you don't have some type of spiritual protection, you open to all types of stuff. And I think that's what we're here to do. We're here to let you know that there's a world that you can't see, and there is plots against you that you don't know of. And a lot of us have already been subject to these plots. A lot of us. So it's up to you to educate yourself and teach your family how to fight against the devil. The Bible it wasn't written for no reason. It was written for a reason. And the biggest way to debunk anybody who says that Peter is right about the animals, or anybody that you shouldn't eat animals, is God literally said he caused grass to grow for the cattle and herbs for the service of man. So herbs are supposed to be at your service. Rosemary is supposed to work for you. Y'all out here burning the sage. I'm telling you, put that shit with the ground beef and make a banging sausage. Like, that's how that works. Like, you're using it all wrong. The man, he will prefer the sage in his sausage. That's why you keep chasing him out his house every time you burn it.
The way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
I'm telling you.
His heart is through his stomach. You'll always be on his mind. Damn, man, she made that. Damn, I wonder what Kelly doing today. Or you see what Samantha doing it. You'll always be on his heart. That's the spell.
Even if he had a new woman house, honey, because he'll be thinking about all those good meals he could have been having if he had them.
Let her put the ground beef and the onions in there with no water. And he'll be right back. He gonna fly over there. He gonna astral project over there.
Y'all, we love you. We appreciate y'all spending this time with us. We appreciate Jay from Philly Podcast Space.
Thanks.
And his lovely space. And we'll be back. So, Emmanuel, that means God is with you. If you ain't got God with you, I don't know who you got with you, but you're going to be getting clunked.
You are the resistance.
Resist.